To complete your color pencil worksheet, you're going to need your set of colored pencils and your color pencil practice worksheet inside your Art 2 book. You want to start by sharpening all of your pencils so that you are ready to go. When we're starting our apple, we're going to start by laying in some base layers or undertones for our apple. So the first color that you want to use is your number 33 pencil, which is the dark green. I'm going to lay in some base tones for the shadow of my apple. It's really important that you start with a light pressure and that you work in a circular line direction so that you're not getting too many start and stop marks. As you can see, I laid out just a light layer of the dark green on the left-hand side of the apple just to create a base layer for my shadows. The next color that you're going to use is your number 3 yellow color. This time, we're going to lay another layer using light pressure and again a circular line direction, and we're going to put a light pressure layer over the entire apple. This is going to be our second undertone color for the apple. What you're going to see is as we layer more and more colors on top of each other, the undertone colors will interact with those colors that we put on top. The next layer is going to be our light green, which is your number 30 pencil. And we are also going to put the light green layer over the entire apple. This time you want to start paying attention to your line direction. You want to use a curved line direction and think about the cross contours of that apple. You want to start thinking about how you can make that apple look 3D, not just through the shading and the value, but also the line direction that you color. The next step is to use brown, which is your number 49 pencil, and we're just going to lightly shade in the stem. We'll come back in later and add some more value to that stem. Next, we're going to add some red, which is your number 9 pencil, and we're going to lightly go over our shadows one more time. One thing that you're going to notice is that when you start to lay that red over top of the green, you're going to notice that it lessens the intensity of that color of red, which is important because a real apple isn't going to be a really bright, intense red. A real apple is going to have some more neutral tones to it. So because green is its complementary color, it's going to help add some neutral tones. Next, we're going to take our color orange, which is our number 5 pencil, and we're going to put another light layer over the entire apple. Once again, you really want to be paying attention to your line direction. Think about the shape of an apple and how you can use those curved lines to create the 3D illusion for the apple. My pencil is sharp. I'm still using a circular line direction, even though I'm trying to follow the contours of that apple. I don't want to use too many straight lines because I want to get the contours and that shape of the apple. I want to get not too many of those start and stop marks. Notice that I will turn my pencil a lot just to keep a nice sharp edge on the apple. The next color is going to be our blue color, which is a dark blue, number 21, and I'm going to go back into those shadows again with blue. Notice that I am not using the color black to color in any of my shadows. When you're using the blue and the green, the complementary colors, you're going to get a deeper, more three-dimensional shadow rather than just a flat black shadow. The next step is to come back with my red, and this time I'm going to burnish, and which means that I'm trying to fill in as much of those white parts of the paper that are still showing through, and I'm going to cover the entire apple. So this is going to be really that red overall value that's going to go over the entire apple. So I'm using very short pencil strokes. I'm keeping my pencil sharp, and I'm going to put in a layer over that entire apple. You'll notice that I'll come back in with some orange also on the brighter side of my apple, just to keep things a lighter value. Even though I want the whole thing to be saturated, I don't want it to be all too dark. I want to make sure that I'm keeping a light source. Once I've saturated most of the apple with the orange and the red, I'm going to use my white, which is my number 1 pencil, and I'm gonna add in some of the highlights. I'm just gonna go in and saturate the areas of the apple that I wanna keep really bright, but I also wanna make sure that they have that layer of colored pencil on there. And then finally, to finish, I'm gonna just go back with all of my previous colors as needed until I feel like my apple looks like the demonstration apple that you see on the screen.